You're listening to Search the Scriptures Daily, a program in which we encourage everyone who desires to know God's truth to look to God's Word for all that is essential for salvation and living one's life in a way that is pleasing to Him. In this first segment of Search the Scriptures Daily, we're addressing The Secret, which is the latest promotion of concepts, beliefs, practices related to the mind sciences, religious science, positive mental attitude, positive confession, and the word faith teachings, humanistic psychology, and many, many other things. It's a combination of so many false ideas, false teachings, that it's overwhelming. Now, if you're not aware of The Secret, it's an 80-minute video and a book based upon the video that was given huge publicity by Oprah Winfrey and Larry King on their TV programs. It's been atop the New York Times bestseller list for 17 weeks, having sold 6 million copies thus far, and the DVD has sold more than 2 million copies. Well, what is The Secret? According to its claims, it's learning to master the most powerful law in the universe, the law of attraction. Once learned, you can use it to acquire, they say, massive wealth, eradicate disease, perfect your relationships, be successful in all aspects of life, and, of course, bring about world peace. Dave, this secret, you and I addressed this so-called secret 22 years ago in the Seduction to Christianity, and our concern then, as it is today, is that it entered into the evangelical church, and it was shipwrecking the faith of many. And the only new thing about this latest presentation, I think, is the packaging. I mean, it comes on like the Da Vinci Code, this deep, dark secret that's been lost and hidden over the ages. And, of course, the other new thing is most of the players, again, 22 years ago, the major players were Napoleon Hill, W. Clement Stone, Zig Ziglar, those who were promoting positive mental attitude. But then there are also individuals in the church, going back to E.W. Kenyon, and of course he spawned people like Kenneth Hagin, Kenneth Copeland, Fred Price, Casey Treat, on and on, many of these guys. Well, Joel Osteen's father was a part of this, John Osteen. I mean, this was all, again, positive confession, positive mental attitude, and so on. But
don't forget Norman Vincent Peale and Robert Schuller.
Exactly. The power of positive thinking, or possibility thinking, which was Schuller's variation on it, and so on. So it's been around. It's not a secret. But, again, the marketing, that's what has made it so attractive.
Tom, I find it astonishing. I'm just sitting here watching the video, your copy of it there. Immediately, any logical person with any common sense at all asks, really? You guys have everything you want? You are everything you want? You live in the house you want to live in? Now, probably you would like to live maybe at least 100 years, maybe 200, with perfect health and strength. None of these people that they talk about in the past have done that. We mentioned Waddles last week. He died at 51. What happened to The Secret? It's supposed to give you everything. Let me read from the book here.
Dave, as you're going to that, let me bring up another name which maybe many of our listeners or viewers are familiar with, especially if they've read The Seduction of Christianity, Napoleon Hill.
Right.
The last 18 years of his life, he spent in a nursing home. And we're told by his biographers that he died penniless. Now, what about that?
Seems like The Secret turned on him.
Yes.
Yeah,
and it would, because we know where it came from, what the roots of it are.
Well, this is Michael Bernard Beckwith, and he says, the moment you begin to think properly. Okay, so in other words, it's the power of the mind.
Right.
This something that's within you, what is it? This power within you that's greater than the world, it will begin to emerge. Now, why does it begin to emerge? I'm thinking properly. It sounds like I'm the guy that has the power. Why do I need this other power? It's like a magic genie, you call it to do your bidding. It will take over your life. It will feed you. It will clothe you. It will guide you, protect you, direct you, sustain your very existence. How come some of these guys died in the condition we're talking about and died so young? If you let it, now that is what I know for sure. And Ralph Waldo Emerson says, quote, "The secret is the answer to all that has been, all that is, and all that will ever be." Now, anybody listening to this who knows anything about the Bible, knows anything about God, knows that this is a slap in the face to God. This is denying what God says about himself. When Moses asked, "Well, what's your name? Who are you? You're sending me to Egypt to deliver your people." And they're going to say, "Well, who is this God that sent me? What's your name?" God says, "I am that I am." And through Isaiah and many other places, he says, "I am God. There is none else." Okay? Of Jesus, John writes, "All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made." And yet this book, The Secret, says that, well, why? Quantum physics says that the universe is the result of a thought. Now, I guess last week I asked a logical question. Whose thought was that? Before there's a creation, before there's a universe, we got a thought that brought it into existence. Now, thoughts don't just come out of the air. They are thought by someone. Who was the one who thought it? Right. You got to have a thinker. Mm-hmm. Tom, it is so full of holes, and yet people are just going for this. Why? Because lust. Right. They want power. They want what it offers. And I guess that was Eve's problem in the garden.
Absolutely. And it's amazing to me, Dave. This was before sin. This is before she actually sinned.
Right.
That Satan offered her something that was really ludicrous. She had everything in perfection.
Right.
But that thought, that deceptive, seductive thought, caused her to disobey God. And then Adam, right after her. But David, I'd like to go back. We're going to talk about this now, and when we end this series, really underscore it. Part of the lie to Eve was that she would be as God. Mm-hmm. Now, I think if we go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, I don't know if it's 9, 10, 11, right in there, where it says, "Those who have not a love for the truth, God is going to send strong delusion that they believe the lie." I think you can trace the lie right from the lie in Genesis that Satan offers to Eve all the way to the Antichrist, who sets himself up as God to be worshipped as God. So this idea that we're gods, you find it in, and it isn't just Mormonism and Hinduism and so on. You find it in psychology, self-deification, self-actualization. All of that seems to be the lie that we buy. It's amazing.
Well, the world buys it. So
exactly.
The lie is now called The Secret. It's been repackaged. And people are just going for this like Eve bit and got hooked by the serpent in the garden.
Right.
It's to me, Tom, it's, you wanted to do this series and you want to make a DVD or something about it. And my first thought was, forget it. This is so absurd. What's the point of even talking about it? It bores me.
For more information about the Berean call us toll-free at our order number or visit our website